It sure is nice to have one of these diggers around the farm. I used to rent one or two times a year, but our son-in-law bought one a few years ago, and wow, even though it's old, it does a lot of work, and it's just so handy to have. Here we're putting in new posts for the grapes. We put a point on the post, and that's enough for the excavator to drive it in and pound it down to make it solid. So much faster than the old method of drilling holes and all that. Even the bulls came over to check it out. Then the second job of the day was to head over to a field where we're going to be putting vegetables for the first time. We're putting a drain tile in to help remove some water from one end where it is wet. Wet field doesn't grow as well, but it's really bad for vegetables and even worse for organic vegetables because we need to be able to cultivate to control the weeds. If it's too wet to get the cultivators in, then the weeds will just grow unchecked. So first step is to dig a 30-inch deep trench. Then Brian comes along and just levels one corner of the trench so we can lay the black plastic pipe down in there. It just so happens that the bucket is 30 inches deep, so I can tell from the operator's seat how deep to go without having to get out. It's very handy. I'd say it took us less than 2 hours to put in a 250-foot piece of pipe. Then once the pipe is laid in the corner of the ditch, we need to cover it, but I don't want rocks against the pipe where they might smush it. So I'll come down along the side of the ditch like this and just carefully put enough soil on top to give it a good cushion and make sure the pipe is not damaged. The fact that the pipe is in the corner of the ditch also helps to protect it. There are big fancy laser guided machines for doing this, but they also come with a big price tag. So this is a nice way of being able to get in there with a budget and get some drainage. Finally, now that we've protected the pipe, Brian can come in with the tractor and push all the soil back in, and then turn around and use the back of the bucket to level it all off so the field is now ready to be used again. And when I went back this evening, you can see a little bit of water is trickling out. It's not a lot, but that running 24 hours a day certainly makes a big difference. And finally, my bird of the day is a double-crested cormorant. One's on the log and the other one comes over. I don't know if it's a disagreement or if he's asking permission or what, but he hops on and uh-oh, too heavy. Sorry, dude, only room for one. He's off. Now back to why they're called a double-crested cormorant. If you look on top of his head, he's got those two crests of feathers. That's why they get their name, double-crested cormorant. And on a sunny day, their eye is a bright aqua blue. They typically head to the ocean or further south in the winter, and in the summer they come back and live in and along the St. John River near the farm.